but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Dreaming of stars in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take my home. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never do anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some rest by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rest keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, you got to picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never look luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on me, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan gets for the trolls, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some rest by the morning.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Now Jones. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rosen off the play action. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on third and 9. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Detroit! And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. You're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On play action, they'll throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. They'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Detroit! After the interception, here's Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And New York set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Tackled by Jordan Willis.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. With a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the Bills' offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 2nd down, Rosen. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3:19.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
They'll throw it with Rosen. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
On play action, Rosen. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Rosen will throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Hey. Four down.
Now they try the right side here. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He'll buy some time right. He's got Evans. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. A rare misstep on that last play, because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dancing to his left. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He sets to fire deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now this time he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you're content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Rosen. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the gun, it's Rosen. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Here's a give to Mixon. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal.
This drive started with first and goal. Now that it's fourth and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. Fourth and goal from the 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Now Jones gets around him. And here now a spin. Still going. They can't stop him. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at him with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. First and 10 at the 19. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll take this one down near the 15. A gain of 3, second down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On second down, here's Rosen. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
319! 319! Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back now here on EA Sports. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. The Bills on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And his kick is good. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Jones on the return. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Now he goes spin. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Rosen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
From the gun on 3rd down is Rosen. Flushed out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Samson Abukum able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. And now out come the Jets. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better. And
that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A handoff to Mixon. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Throwing now is Rosen. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught by Evans. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bills, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall to 8-6.
All white, right? Couldn't hit if